Good morning. It's January 11th, 2024 regular board meeting. I want to wish everybody a happy new year. And we're located at 8885 West, 3500 South, the general office building. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Would everybody join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Before we get started, I would like to go around the Daisy table and address who's here today. We got Clint Dilly, Nathan Bracken, Andrew Sumption, Jeff White, Mick Sudbury, Danny Stewart, Leal Fitzgerald, Dallas Henline, Raymond Mondragon, and Trevor Andre. I'd like to welcome I'd like to welcome the public and guest. So our next one on our agenda is nominating a new elected board chair for 24.
I'd like to nominate Mick Sudbury. That's okay.
I can second that.
Okay, it's been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Is this my 7th year?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
I didn't hear any nays.
No. Anybody have anything they'd like to address the board today with, or any concerns? Okay, does anybody here today have a conflict of anything that's on their agenda? Okay, let's move on down. Item G is pretty cool here. So who wants to take that? Raymond?
Take it. I want to recognize Steve Clark for passing his grade 4 for water treatment. It's a great benefit for the company, and we're looking excited for him for passing this test and moving on to the next test now.
What's the next one?
Treatment, wastewater,
Oh.
grade 1.
Cool.
And I want to congratulate Steve also, and also being our new inspector.
I was just ready to bring that up. Yeah.
Okay.
We want to acknowledge him being the new inspector next week, 22nd, but he'll step into his position.
Yeah, we're in a transition right now, and then with the water lead position changing, and that starting up on the 22nd, that'll kind of be the official
Awesome.
pass off. Yeah.
And just to let you know, we even bought you a new truck.
Well, we're in the process.
Yes.
How excited they are. We are.
Yeah, congrats, Steve. We appreciate you. We're lucky to have him.
Yes, we are.
Most senior. You're highest on the seniority list, right?
Are you the highest now? Highest seniority?
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't even want to hear that, though.
For such a young guy, he started working at 12 years old.
He's yeah, we're gonna miss him on the water side.
No kidding.
He'll still be around. Huh?
It's gonna be weird on this, guys, you know, but it's not like beating.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But congratulations.
And also from the board, we really do appreciate all your work you do.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to approval of common concern items.
I'll make it. Okay.
Minutes of the regular board meeting held December 14, 2023. Expenses for December 4th to December 31st, 2023. Expenses, $663,114.93.
I'll second it.
It's been motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, let's go to department report. Let's go with the general manager's report first. Clint?
All right, thanks, Mr. Chairman. What I wanted to highlight is probably just the staffing. Just make sure the board was up updated on all of where we're at with staffing. We've had so much going on as of late. Wanted to make sure nothing fell through the cracks. And so Andrew will help me make sure we cover everything here. Our office clerical AP position was filled in-house by Kim Cisneros. We're excited. She's already jumped in and is doing well in that role. If Leal has any comments, feel free, Leal, to jump in.
She's doing a great job so far, so that's all I can tell you right now.
Awesome.
We will then, her position was accounts receivable, so we posted that in-house and that closed without any applicants. So we listed it on Monday and I think Andrew's got over 50 or
Over 50 applicants in
applicants.
2 days.
So says something about the market, maybe, at least for that type of a position. We're excited to be able to pick through. Hopefully we get some really good candidates there. I think the plan is to start narrowing it down and getting interviews right away, right?
Yeah, we've started reviewing the candidates. Leal's gonna help me sift through that. We'll start doing some phone screenings, probably Monday morning.
So when does it close?
Generally, when we go outside, it's just open till field. So we'll start,
We don't have a time frame like we do in-house, like
no,
7 days?
not generally, no.
We could.
We could.
Start doing that. I think we're in the mode from the last
Yeah,
market where we tended to keep them open. But if the market's changed,
Yeah.
we might put a timeline on it.
Yeah, because it took a while for the last time, right?
Yeah.
Because it
I
took
mean,
a,
just the type
almost
of job too.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
But if there's a preference there from the board, we could certainly,
Well, you know what, you know what, the thing is though, is I would like it to come down off the website as soon as it's filled, because the engineer, stayed up for,
The challenge with leaving it on was, as we were working through things with the bargaining unit, I didn't want to pull it too prematurely and miss out on some candidates I might put in.
okay.
till it was rock solid.
Yes.
Are you okay with, do you want a time frame like 7 days or?
No, I thought about that. and
Okay.
If we close it and we haven't filled it, it wouldn't. be
Well, no,
very
no,
good.
but I'm just saying, yeah, okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, but you're right, I would close it immediately as soon as but it's like they said, we might get candidates, but then all of a sudden, if they don't work out or they don't meet the requirements, then we gotta go back on
Okay.
again, so.
Okay.
With the engineering, the staff engineer has started, Matthew, and working with Trevor 2 days a week. Excited to have him here.
When do we get a meeting?
Yeah, he will, so we will bring him on, next month in February. And there should be a couple other positions or new employees, so
We figured would group 3 or 2 or 3 would most likely.
together.
So I have a question on that staff engineering. So we filled it, so does he have set days that he works here?
Tuesday and Thursday,
Okay,
full days,
okay,
so 20 hours a week.
okay,
So he came Tuesday
okay.
and we, went through all the new employee, information and then visited a lot of sites trying to get him a general idea of the district and what we have. And then, he
So-
impressed me because he's done some reading already.
Awesome, that's cool. So what do we do on that for like benefits? Because you don't have a 40-hour,
So he qualifies for benefits if he works 80 hours a month, which he is going to be doing. And so he'll qualify for benefits. probably
okay,
not
but
this
wonder if
month,
he
but
doesn't,
Just the health insurance, right?
Just to help.
just to help, but what I'm just saying, let's just say he doesn't work 80 hours. So does that mean that he misses? I mean, how does that work? I'm just confused
The
about
union
that.
requires 80 hours a month to,
Yeah, so he has
Qualify for
eligibility
insurance.
for like a certain month.
and so we explained to him as we brought him in for his eligibility that that would be expected.
Okay, okay,
So he won't reach that 80 hours this month, but he'll reach it in February.
so starting February, he'll get his insurance.
It'll be,
We'll start paying him for February, so it'll be,
Be March.
it'll be 1st of April, I believe.
That he'll get it, okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we talked about the inspector, however, that opened up a position on the construction crew for the lead man, so that's been posted in-house, and that closed
Sorry.
with one applicant. And so Justin Long was awarded that position. We're excited to have Justin move into that role. We think he's grown quite a bit over the past couple of years, having to take on some senior operator roles and training. He's really been instrumental. Justin was a big voice on the development of the safety manual. Had a lot of good impact and feedback on that, and so we're excited to see him see what he does with this opportunity.
Step into this new position and take control and lead.
So that leaves a position on the water crew that was posted in-house, and that's still open.
Still open, we've had one bid as of right now.
So we'll report back on that to the board as soon as we have the number of candidates who's applied. The operations, we talked about, the mechanic apprentice was filled by Paul, and that leaves a position on the collections crew. I think the collections crew, Dallas's preference along with his lead man was to make that transition rather than spread it out slowly. They felt like the best transition, and along with the coordination on Bob's side, would be to make that happen, and so they could get somebody in as soon as possible working. So we've got a position that was posted in-house, closed with no applicants, and then we've had it posted outside, and we've had an applicant that was interested,
Yeah,
and I think we've extended an offer.
So-
that'll be this afternoon. We knock the board.
That's
Okay.
the candidate that put in for the water job, but we told him.
Okay.
So we're excited. He's excited about it, it sounds
Yes.
like, and we met with him and down at the wastewater and showed him the job and think he'll be a good fit.
I really like how we take them out and about and show them what we do, because, you know, everybody says, oh yeah, I want to work there, and then you get here and it's like,
Never mind.
maybe I don't, but you know, you're already got your foot in the door, and then you leave tomorrow, you know, so I like this idea.
So as you can see, we've got quite a bit of moving around. That's always a tenuous period where there's a lot of changes and uncertainty, but at the same time, I think it's exciting. And I think that growth for the staff is a healthy thing, and it pushes people to grow and expand their skills, and we're excited.
I've never seen this much movement going on in the whole time I've been here.
Yeah, it's good, it's a good change.
Yeah.
So that's my report, what I wanted to highlight, unless the board had any other questions.
Nope, he answered mine. Thank you.
You bet.
Okay, Trevor, let's go to your engineer report.
So the engineering report, beginning of the year, things are a little slower, but we are moving on some certain projects. So like the reuse project, based on time, we're about 50% through that project. Schedule is to have substantial completion in September of this year, meaning that we'll be able to test the pump station.
Oh, awesome.
Kind of where
So
that's
we'll be full blown.
We won't put it into the system this year. That'll be 2025 irrigation, but we'll be able to test it all at the end of this year. So, Coriel's been doing a good job, our, consultant team managing that, good job. Right now, they're backfilling all the, up to grade, and then they'll start going vertical with the building block and start doing some of the interior mechanical.
Awesome.
So we'll start to see it going, the block being put on towards the end of this month, maybe the beginning of February. So that's exciting.
We've had good weather till just a couple weeks, so it's been,
Yeah. It's slowed them down, but it hasn't shut them down. So no weather days, just slowed progress a little with the cold and snow. The influent pump station, we're basically at 90% design of that whole thing. We had to relocate or move slightly where the location of the grit building was. There was an old clarifier that got tore out that kind of made we kind of talked about this, the below grade, it was unclassified fill material. We didn't feel comfortable putting it there. It ended up working out quite well, the move on that, but that delayed us slightly, not a whole lot though, and we're gonna have that turned into the state for review. Is it scheduled for next month, I think? And then, let's see, what else we got here? The facility plan update. We've collected all the samples for that. They're working on updating the model. We'll meet in a few weeks on that one. So that's exciting. That's for the wastewater treatment plant, facility plan. Haynes well number 8 replacement. The pump house design was completed, and that'll be turned into Division of Drinking Water for review and comment approval. Basement remodel, the updated schedule on that is to have everything towards the end of this month being delivered. and
Yeah, I
put
signed
up,
a check this morning for it, so.
installed. Yeah,
That was a deposit.
Oh, was that a deposit?
yeah, but they have everything ordered.
50%.
50.
Then the solids handling building expansion. We've met with Epic and the plans were in really good shape. We're looking to send those into the municipal service district for permitting review and approval towards the end of this month as well. So that's it, unless you have any specific questions on any projects.
Nope. So I do. What about the change house down at the sewer plant?
So that one, we moved the lockers around and set up kind of that interim area. Dallas worked to get the door.
Right, I seen he
At the
sent me a
top of
picture of it,
those
looked really
stairs.
good.
Yeah, and then we've at this point, we had Epic go through and put together some information on a layout, kind of expanding on the layout that you've already seen to the west of the office or operator building. And that's kind of where we're sitting right now. We wanted to evaluate the West Headworks once the influent project was further along.
That building will no longer be used,
Yeah,
the West Headworks. So that location might be a good spot for a new structure.
to kind of do an alternative study.
How far
between-
away is that from, no, it's not, okay, I know where it's at, okay.
Yeah,
Well, I
it's
just
to the
don't,
east.
I just don't wanna put this on the back burner. This is something critical that needs to be taken care of because eventually we're gonna get ourselves in trouble.
Yeah, it's on our minds, it's here, and we wanna kind of turn it into an evaluation of kind of the two locations, whether it's a new building to the west of the operator building or modifying the West Headworks.
And I think what you guys have done now is awesome. I'm okay with it for temporary,
Yeah,
but I don't want this to be their permanent change house.
yes, agreed.
Yeah, I think it was a good solution to resolve the immediate need, or concern of the contamination, potential
Right.
contamination, which that's, I
And the
think,
guys can probably tell a difference.
Yeah, they're happy with their
Okay.
space, so.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you, Trevor, for, your update. The board have any comment on anything? Okay, let's move on. Okay, let's, go over to Raymond for your water report.
Mr. Chairman, the water production call-out report for December, water production summary, the Colonial Water production of the month of December was 91.13 million gallons, or 279.68 acre feet. 4.78 increase from 2022. Year to date was 607.8 million gallons, or 4,932.29 acre feet. A 5.9 decrease from 2022. We have purchased 813.40 acre feet as of December from Jordan Valley. Call out report, wastewater, as well as water. Total number of call outs 5, 4 being water, 1 being wastewater, 1 mainline break, 3 service leaks. Total hours 33, 30 being water and wastewater being 3. That's the call out report to date. I just want to kind of highlight on a couple of things. We just started our UCMR 5 this year. It's been 3 years since we did it last. So we'll start doing a string of them every quarter now to the end of the year. So I just want to give you aware of that.
Okay.
And as well, we're in the process of looking to pull in Haynes number 7 for an inspection. We have some things we want to look at it, so we just want to make you be aware that we're in the process, me and Trevor looking into pulling number 7.
Okay,
And that's all my report is, Mr. Chairman.
you guys got any questions?
No, thank you,
Okay.
Raymond.
Okay, Dallas?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman and Board. Just a couple things to highlight. The local limit study with Northrop Grumman and Geosyntec. We're gonna start the sampling for that this weekend. It should take 3 to 4 weeks to complete all the sample collection. And then we'll regroup probably the first part of March to start the analysis and really dive in and see what kind of room we have and if any adjustments can be made. And then on the collection system, the crew just finished a rehab project with the contractor named Don Calvert. They found 43 manholes with degradation or some types of repair that needed to be done. So they plugged off some of the inflow and infiltration, and then they had them all lined. So it's just part of our annual rehab project. And then now that that's done, we'll start building our list for repairs for 2024.
Awesome. So I'd like to address both of you, and I've addressed this with Clint. Whoever's on call out for the weekends and when we have snowstorms, we need to make sure that our walks are all shoveled in any part of, if we have any land, we have sidewalks in front of it, we need to make sure that them sidewalks are all cleaned off so nobody falls and gets hurt then because we become liable. And I just want to make sure that we make a reminder for the guys that are on call that, you know, sorry, but that's part of your duty to make sure it's all cleaned out. Thank you.
That's it, Mr. Chairman.
You guys have any questions that you want to address?
Just to clarify that, I think the expectation is a certain time period after the snow has stopped, right? I think one thing we want to avoid is waiting till the next morning
Right.
on that type, because people will start walking along there. Is that?
Well, yeah,
So if
my-
it's not done within a certain amount of time after the storm ends.
Well, my main concern is, and I don't know, legal counsel can voice in if he wants, but my main concern is, you know, when we're on call and you're out making your rounds on the mornings and we have a snowstorm, I get it, we should go out and clean it off, and then if we have to come back, you know, again, to clean it off, I think it's very important we clean it off, because if, let's just say someone does fall, it shows that we went out and done, you know, cleaned it off, so it hasn't been ignored.
No, that's correct.
So I just want to make sure, because in today's world,
So if they have any question, oh, do I wait till the morning? No.
Yes.
They go out, you know, after the.
but you know what, I'm gonna leave that, I'm gonna go back a step, I'm gonna leave that, you guys are in charge. You guys set it up. I just want to make sure that we've had a pathway gone through, and if it, you know, gets bad, they need to come back out again and take care of it, because we're paying them for it. So I just don't want to see ourselves get any legal suits.
Yep, very wise.
You guys have any questions?
Oh, that's good.
Okay. Okay, Leo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So most of these that are highlighted on the compliance report are from now till about the end of March, so there's quite a bit of things to be done. The impact fee report will be filed by March 31st. The Utah Public Finance website requires the salaries and benefits to be posted by the end of this month, so that will be done. The revenues and expenditure reports to the state is due at the end of this month also for the prior year. And then the OSHA 300 report, I apologize, Andrew, I forgot to ask you about this, but I assume that that'll be filed this
Yes.
month too.
Yes.
The State Money Management Act Council requires a report to be filed every 6 months. This is the time that we do it. It'll be filed by January 31st. The water use report will be filed to the state by March 31st, hopefully sooner. They like to have you do it as soon as you can, so, but that's the deadline. The annual employee training, I highlighted the fraud awareness training because it's new with our adoption of our new ARNRs. So Andrew and I will get together and we'll see when we can schedule that training. And ditto with the conflict of interest annual certification. This will be the first year that it's been into play.
What's
We'll
the
have some
time frame on that, Leal?
I'm sorry?
What's the time frame on it? I don't see any.
There is really not a deadline for us as long as we do it annually, kind of like our personnel procedures. We want them to acknowledge they've had this training once a year. So as
it's
long
in-
as we do it once a year, then
So it's implemented in 2024, so
We'll
that
do it before
annual training
December.
would be due by December 31st?
yes, yeah. My apologies, yeah, I'll put December 31st on there, but I'm hoping to do it earlier in the year, you know. Same with conflict of interest annual certification. This one also includes the board, and I do need to get you that form, so the board fills it out once a year too. So I'll probably email it to you, or if I don't get it to you emailed, then we'll get it to you somehow, we can get it filed. It's blue because they're completed, so.
Awesome.
Unless you have questions, I think we're in pretty good shape. It's just busy from now till March.
Awesome. Okay, does any of the board have anything they want to address?
When you're gonna send out the reports for the risk,
For the conflict of interest to the
Yeah.
board, I can probably get you a copy today, or I can email you one.
oh, it doesn't matter, it's just due by the end of March, right?
I think it's at the end of January, honestly.
Yeah, you want to
So I
get
might
those,
have an incorrect date on there,
yeah,
so.
you want to get those done as soon as possible, because it's, the way the conflicts of interest work, just there are two ways to declare them. One is if you know you're going to have a standing conflict, like for instance, let's say you work for a developer, let's say you work for D.R. Horton and you know you've got Little Valley Gateway going on, that would be something you'd want to disclose in writing at the beginning of the
I
year.
see.
So that way, anything that comes before the board, you've disclosed it and you've complied with the law.
I see. That
The
makes
other way to do it is, if something comes up that you didn't anticipate, and then you could disclose it in writing at that time, and you should disclose it if it comes before the board to vote.
Okay, yeah, that's fine, yeah, whenever.
All right.
You know, and I have mixed emotions about that because back in the day, if you had a conflict, you couldn't vote, you know, like, but as long as you disclose it, you're able to vote.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
and-
there's certain situations
Yeah.
when you can or cannot.
Well, the state law again sets the baseline floor.
Right.
Under state law, you just have to disclose it. We can, if you want, and I think we had this discussion with the ARNRs, we could go beyond that in the ARNRs and say that you have to recuse yourself. We could make that mandatory. The challenge, I think if I recall, is you guys only have 3 members. And we didn't want to mandate that where we maybe lack a quorum, and so it's entirely up to you if you recuse yourself. Frankly, I think that's usually the best course of action, but that's why we didn't require it.
Okay,
But
okay,
you
well,
can
no,
if you
no,
want to.
I just want to make sure we just stay out of trouble.
Yeah, so the best thing to do is do your annual conflict of interest disclosure as soon as you can in the beginning of the year. That way it's disclosed in case anything happens, and then update that if things change. I think given your respective positions, I think the need to disclose something in writing is probably minimal.
Okay.
But it's still important to do that each year.
Okay, awesome.
So, sorry, if you'd like, I can get it printed out while you guys are in close. I can have them ready for you to take.
Do they have to be notarized or anything, or just?
They do have to be notarized.
Goodness sakes.
Okay,
Sorry.
Scaring me. Okay, just one second. We had a timeout for a minute. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Leo. Moving on to HR report.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Chair. As you can see, we brought in our vehicle inspection checklist. We were able to get that created. The managers had all went through it and agreed on the important things that we need to be checking on. I think it's a good step in not only protecting our equipment, but protecting our employees and staff as well. They started using it the first of the year, and the way it's set up is there's 3 sheets there. One sheet will be returned to their managers, which will be able to scan and file. Another sheet is their personal copy, and then the last sheet will stay with the booklet in the truck. We're excited. I think it's a good step, especially with complying with our safety policy. The other thing that I'd like to report is that with the safety manual that has been distributed, all the staffing has been going through it in their morning meetings. I'm starting to see the final signatures coming in of people completing, going through it, and I think it's a great step forward on keeping our staff safe. That's it for me.
Okay, so I have a question for you. You know, when we discussed about each employee have a copy of the AR&R, have we done that yet?
We haven't. We can get them a copy this month.
Yeah, because I think it's very important that with the new contract
Yeah.
sound and everything's in there, they should all have a copy, so if they ever have to go back on anything, they can look it up.
the whole AR&R or the policy,
Just
or personnel policy?
I just
Personnel
think, I
policies.
think the personnel policy is all we need to give them. Okay, thank you, Andrew. Okay, let's move on to Jay for project award and agreements.
Okay, I can start on
Okay.
the fleet vehicle for the district inspector position. We have put an amount not to exceed from Larry H. Miller. However, we anticipate the state bid pricing has come down from what we understand. So this is what we paid before, but even in Jordan Valley's meeting yesterday, I was looking at the quotes. I think ours are a little bit different. I think we have the 8-foot beds, and our package might be slightly different, but I still expect that we should see a good size reduction. So given the time frame, we wanted to get the board's feedback. We didn't have final pricing yet from Larry H. Miller. We've tried to get it from him, but we haven't been successful yet. I don't know what the holdup is on.
Okay, so I have a question. So yesterday in the vehicles from Larry H. Miller, they run them till they got $100,000,
Yeah,
100,000 plus on the mileage, and then they take them to an auction, and they're averaging about $10,000 per on a deal, and some of them's got some major problems, and so I don't know what the situation is, so.
I think from what I understand, they take a general position that they don't want to get over 150,000 miles. They try to get them to a 130,000 mile range. I think that's I think that approach could work for us if the board wants to go that direction. I think they do start experiencing quite a bit more maintenance once they get into those older years. And obviously, we've been in a market where we've been able to get more than we paid after 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So it's really, I don't know that that's going to
And
continue.
they buy their trucks outright.
Yeah, and then they buy their trucks outright. So I think the next round, we should be discussing how the board wants to do the next cycle. We're certainly open to, I think both approaches could work. I think we've taken the right approach given the current market for the past few years, but who knows how that's going to go.
And that's what we need to look at, like next go around, it's like, are we gonna make money off these trucks, or if we're gonna lose money, what, you know, that's a thing we need to really look at, but the question is, they don't just run one type of vehicle, they got Toyotas, they got Fords, they got Chevys, and their mechanics all have, you know, and they're not just got one mechanic, so.
So is this number then, a little high?
We think based on the numbers I saw yesterday, I would think it's $3,000 or $4,000 high.
Why don't you make a call today and just find out why they have not give us a bid on this? If not, we'll just go somewhere else.
We can do that. So
And I would
whatever direction.
reach out to Brad Harris.
So the board has a couple options. I think you could approve a not to exceed, or we could bring it back at a special meeting or in
I'll give you a phone number.
So it's up to the board. I think the only concern is timing, but we can make it work with the Romer if we have to. So it's up to the board on,
How much is the equipment different on this vehicle than the other ones we have?
that's a number I don't have for you. I can get that.
No, I mean as far as the equipment, like 3/4 ton, long bed.
Oh, this is the 1500.
1,500.
8-foot bed. 8-foot bed.
I mean, is it kind of the same as what we're running now?
Yeah.
It's the exact same, yeah.
Identical.
Wow. And their deliveries have been okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Supposedly, this could be here by the end of the month.
Yeah, and if we don't take it, they could sell it.
Yeah, do we, are
Do
we
you-
gonna make a motion on this?
Do you want a motion on this for don't
Not to
succeed? Yeah.
Okay. So, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion on this additional fleet vehicle for district inspector position in the amount not to exceed $54,416 from Larry Miller Chevrolet.
Second, in motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
I just had one question about it, because Mick, you had said that if we don't hear back from Larry H. Miller, that,
Oh.
do you just want to say we authorize the staff to
Alternate.
purchase a truck
Alternate.
up
yes,
to
okay.
54,416?
So, Mr. Chairman, yeah, with, on the additional fleet vehicle for the district inspector, for the amount not to exceed $54,416, we approve a comparable purchase from another vendor.
Okay, it's been second, in motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay.
Just a bit of information, on the vehicles that we just traded in,
Yes,
we recorded a $240,000 gain.
That's good.
$240,000 gain, good. Hopefully that'll stay.
I mean, yeah,
Good as
so we did well in 2.5 years, 3.5 years.
2.5.
2.5.
Hard to beat that. I mean, so I don't know that will continue, but
It was a high market right then.
And the market's still pretty
Strong.
strong. I know they've got a lot of 24s and 23s are up. They got some good, interest rates on some of them, like 1.9.
They got some real good sales on electric vehicles.
Yeah.
Where does Brad Harris work?
so given those
Larry
conditions,
Miller Chevrolet.
you would think that
Larry
that
Miller
won't
Chevrolet.
last.
Oh, he does?
That-
He's the GM.
So he's our contact on that?
Will,
Kevin Freeberg's who we've
Yeah.
been contacting.
but you deal with, call Brad. Okay, let's move on to, as you can see, window tinning.
Mr. Chair and Board, you've seen on your packet, we're doing the south side first, which is 13 windows, which the total price of that bid was for both sides, the 12 on this side and 13 on this side, a total of 25 windows. The only thing difference in the price would change if we do that one side only,
Then come back.
another $1,000, and they have to come back for a lift. And then we have some samples right there, Jeff, if you wanna look right behind Clint. The one farthest to the, is the one that we're kinda looking.
Oh, yeah. If you come over after you're done and see, or right now, you can see that knock down and that would be on that upper 2 rows.
And those are the same as this midnight,
These are the same as those?
as the midnight one. It's a little bit lighter. That's the one I think we thought we could get away with.
Thank you.
I think anything would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Trevor over here.
Trying to dodge you.
The crew was able to
Where's your
safely,
dark glasses?
the crew was able to safely get all of the blinds removed, and we've got those in storage. We'll surplus those as part of the surplus.
So, my recommendation on it is if we're gonna do this side, I don't know if we get anything over here, but I think to make it look good, you'd probably
It would
want
look
it.
different if this
Yeah.
was shaded and that wasn't.
Yeah, but I definitely don't want to do any more than the two, cause that's where it draws the,
So are we gonna do just these upper two?
yes, just the upper two, not all the way down.
Yeah, okay.
So you okay with that?
Yeah?
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
yes, thank you,
So we need to approve that.
yes.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the window tinting on the boardroom by Armatech LLC in the amount of $13,910.44.
I second it, it's been motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
You know, it's kinda, it's kind of a sore eye, this deal is tinning, is like, when we built the building, we put in the automatic shades and they never worked right. We've had them come back and back and back, and then the warranty runs out, and now they want more money to come in and fix it, and I think we probably should have did this right from the beginning, but it's what it is. Yes, so moving on to item K.
This is just,
For the
I'll
next
take it if
board
you want me to.
Yes, go for it, sorry.
It's just for the next board meeting, just a reminder, February 8th is when it's scheduled for. I do need to ask you if you want calendar invites for every board meeting.
I would like that.
Right now,
Yeah, I would,
till the end of the year.
yes, and then
Good reminder,
that'd be a good reminder.
Okay.
because we did have some changes.
If you use like an Outlook calendar, it can stay on that, or,
Right, and also, if this can tie into that, Clint's got a report that he wants to send out to everybody in the public and give in our mailing, and give us, everybody an update. So, one of the things I wanna have is good communications with the public, so they know what we're doing at all times. So I was impressed with the letter, except for the increase.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we could go a few more pictures of stuff that were
Yeah, we could add pictures.
probably 90%, well,
And I think that's important too with the pictures. It kind of lets them know what we're doing so they can see it in action.
Yeah. We'll put some pictures and send a draft out to you.
I mean, a lot of people just don't understand that we're under construction, we're doing a lot of things, and we're upgrading, and it's costing money. I mean,
Right. I will say that I think that the 4.5% increase strategy has served us well over this period where inflation has been, up to as high as it's been. I think having those 2 years in a row where our operations was less than the year before helped avoid any other significant need for increases. The only exception is like Leal's mentioned, the numbers justify, it's been several years since we did any property tax. The numbers are looking like we're to the point where that's something we'd like the board to consider, but certainly we'll put together some information to see if that's how we want to address it.
so will we be talking about this in November of this year?
It could be,
it'd be probably June or July, because
June or
the
July.
first step now in the TNT process starts October 1st.
Okay. So it's gotta be done in June, July,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, it'd be nice to decide or be close to a decision so that we can go through the whole process. if we don't go through the process, you're out of luck, you can't.
So are we gonna make a motion on next board meeting?
I don't think the motion needs to be
Yeah, we
made.
don't need to make a motion on that. So, yeah, if you'll send out, that would be great, a calendar, so then that way we know.
I didn't know if you wanted all 12 of
Yeah,
them
let's
at the
just
same
do all
time, or-
12.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's move on to training and safety.
Okay, I think, Mr. Chairman, we've got a list of some of the conferences coming up. We put together a spreadsheet that Leal and the team put together, but we still have some changes and tweaks. We think we'd rather table this one if that's okay,
Yeah.
and bring this back.
Okay.
And then if the board wants to attend any of these, obviously you can at any time, but if the sooner we know, the sooner we can make arrangements. And so we'd recommend that item be tabled.
Okay,
Do we have all the data on these conferences? As far as
Yeah.
the flyer and everything?
Yeah,
Yes.
we've got the summary here, but we can include that in the next packet.
Okay,
so do we have people that need to go down and have certifications?
We do.
Okay,
And that's what was one of the primary motivators for the,
yeah, that's good,
yes.
okay.
okay, do we probably wanna make a motion to table this, and you can just say table item L.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion on to table the training and safety conferences that we have coming up until the next meeting.
I second it. It's been motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Wow, we're moving along. Okay, let's make a motion to close the open.
Okay. So, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to meet immediately in closed meeting to discuss character, professional competence, physical or mental health of an individual, the purchase, exchange, or lease of real property, including any form of water right or water shares, and pending or reasonable imminent litigation pursuant to Utah Code 52-4-204 through 205.
In second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
At 10:47.
hey, I'm noticing fast.
You're good.
11:40, I make a motion to go from closed to open the open.
Second that.
Been motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There was nothing taken in closed, no, so we have nothing there. Does anybody here have any other business they want to address to the board, or does the board have any other questions? See none, does anybody want to make a motion to close? To adjourn, sorry.
Make a motion, it's 11:40, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second that.
Been motion, second, all in favor? Nathan, I don't think you really